Game number 3 is what we're moving into. We've got Barrage, we've got Team Rival, and we've got a barn burner. We are going to see who wins after this one.
Let's not waste too much time. We're going to be getting into picks and bans here shortly. But little tangent. Once again, I like going off on tangents with you. Full dog team, right? We talked about it earlier, right? Anubis, Fenrir, Scotty, Ragnatosker.
Okay, that's 4.
Scylla.
She's got the woofers.
She's
okay,
got the
sure.
woofers. It counts.
Right,
it
the ultimates.
Counts. Barrage, though,
I'm
game
with you.
3. Both of these teams, highest, we can almost guarantee that they're going to be into the console qualifiers, or excuse me, console league. Both trying to assert their dominance and prove themselves, though.
With the Capri, that's going to be taken out, so no revive, and Ao Kwang will be taken out, so no execute, two opposite sides of the spectrum, and the bans, very quick, not a lot of thought needed. No Odin, please and thank you, and no Guan Yu.
So both of these teams, I think they had their, I think all 3 games have been the same bans. Just a little bit of switch up kind of in the compositions. Now Barrage, 3 games in a row. First picked Neith here. Are they going to do the same? As they really seem to value that Hunter, just the ability to flex into multiple roles, so important.
And we saw how Elexum can use that Neith as well. Sometimes these mid laners try to play the Hunter and it doesn't work out, but it worked out very, very well. So Barrage will say, one more time, bring her right back. Neith, welcome to the squad.
Athena Thor here picked up the first 2 games by Rival. I like the Thor. It's been very useful. But this time, they're going to be grabbing the Chronos. Okay.
A little bit more carry potential coming out from the in-hand mage.
And Vamana. So I liked what Barrage did, right? They stole away Gnome's Vamana, which he has had the most success on. And then immediately, Rival's like, all right, we got to put him back on it. We got to put him back on it.
Yeah, so Gnome will get back on Vamana. And there's a Thor pick from Barrage, so a little bit of the ban phase is over, but the counter picks are certainly not.
We could see a Scylla here as well from Barrage. They kind of have the lineup to combine with it, and we saw Barrage have it game 1. Game 2, it went over to Rival, but instead, they felt very comfortable with Jeron on that Freya, and now with a Thor in their hands, right? Jeron wasn't pressured at all against a Thor. Exactly. Now with the Thor in their hands, it's even safer for Jeron.
Yeah, you know what? And this is a perfect example of context. You pick the Freya in game number 2, and I'm immediately nervous. So my girl's going to get ganked all day. She's going to be... So much attention is going to be paid attention to Freya early on. That didn't happen at all. So now if you're Barrage, this pick is a lot safer because you know how the enemy's going to play. Or you can assume that the enemy will play the same way.
Rival banning away Watson's Hades. Although Rival were able to win game 1. Didn't really like playing against it. Not too fun. Huntbat's take it away. So we see some target bans here at Hydra. Although you can't really consider, Huntbat's a target ban still.
Right.
A pretty useful team fighter.
Yeah.
pretty useful.
Pretty okay counter
An understatement of Season 3.
Pretty okay when it comes to making people get CC'd. Sure. The Party Monkey banned out, as is Ho Yi. So, as Team Rival, they will be assumably looking for a Hunter, but they'll put that on the back burner as they go jungle. And Awilix will be the assassin of choice for Team Rival.
And 2 knockups for Rival, right? Not only the Vamana dash, but the Geb as well. So they have the combo potential here. Barrage wastes no time, though, in locking in the Bellona for Watson to match up against Gnome's Vamana. And it's going to be Sobek once again.
Just a lot of, well, 2 things. So 1, you've got the ability to, I guess Vamana's not going to the jungle. So Sobek will be a good pick. I was just saying to take it out of the hands of Rival, but I mean, where are you going to put the
Then you see there's a Geb. It's like, oh, wait, no, they have Geb.
So, oh well, but more like Soul well. The Soul is picked.
I hate you. Production just in my ear said that they all hate you too.
And meanwhile, I did the yes.
Soul going to find her way into this match. Could it be either in the duo lane or in the mid? A little bit of a flex option, although I typically prefer... See, here's the thing. I like the Soul in the duo lane more than the mid. And even the win percentage in PC, I was actually really surprised that in the mid lane, Soul actually has a high win percentage.
Right.
People seem to be making it work, but I just feel like getting that extra farm and not having to fight too early, especially considering that your 2 doesn't go over walls of those mid-harpy fights, very hard to connect. But it is going to be Atonement on the Chronos mid lane.
We'll see how Atonement winds up working on the Chronos. You know, I'll have to agree with you with your assessment of Soul. Despite the wins, I too like her.
A lot of that is, I think like 4 of the wins were on Chaos as well. for like chaos, enemy chaos.
Do you mean enemy chaos, the mid laner, or the enemy team chaos side versus order side?
This is why I had to.
I'm actually confused.
I had to reestablish it because it was confusing, and then I feel like I just made it more confusing.
You made it worse.
The player chaos who plays for the team enemy esports
has gotten a lot of kills with that soul.
He's got like I think 4 or 5 of the wins.
That makes a lot more sense.
There we go.
Mid Harpies go to Barrage on the right side. Left side is still up. And they'll go from mid to blue. Very standard start here for the solo jungle.
Same starts that we've seen so far all game. This is going to allow a little bit of extra XP for Barrage there. Jeron, or excuse me, Hydra Lycan most notably, who hits level 2 before he gets to this mid lane. But actually for the first time in this set, we see Rival get the better of Barrage in the mid lane. They have control. It's been so far Barrage who actually kind of control the pressure and then go and get the mid Harpies. But still, once again, Rival a little bit scared. They don't want to fight at these mid Harpies. They're going to go and secure those fire elementals.
Yeah, when it comes to a Thor Neith early game, you're certainly not going to really compare. I mean,
they three-way split though.
Yeah.
They three-way split though. Not a big fan of that.
Now it's going to spread the experience a little bit thin. But as we take a look at the mid lane, we'll see everybody come on back double tap. Not going to find the jungler. Instead, just a single.
And I wonder what we're going to see Lycan level. Will it be the Hammer or the Berserker's Barrage? I have to imagine Berserker's Barrage. That's what most people on console seem to prefer. And actually, mid lane, Atonement knows this is coming, but Lycan still wants to force it here. He's going to get stunned out. He's in trouble. Feather Step, first blood. No! Lycan hammers out just in time. Actually uses his purification. Real scared there, spamming his buttons.
Yeah, just hitting everything, and the Thor barely escapes.
That was a really beautiful bait coming out from Rival. Unfortunately, though, Lycan just able to get out. It was close. Yeah,
I mean, close is being generous. He's got some pots ticking. You can see right there, both health, mana, and the red pot still going on. So a lot of potions and elixirs as a part of the Thor's diet.
And now it's the pressure in favor of Rival. They got the first wave, almost found a kill on Lycan. They're going to be able to successfully invade these bad Harpies. No response should come from dual lane as they are pressured as well. And it's a Freya. You don't kind of want to walk into the jungle as a Freya this early.
And look at Hydra. He's just waiting. If there is a response from mid lane, Hydra's going to be a big part of what punishes that response. Spirit Arrow off the mark, so Hydra's able to just dance around it.
Boars have spawn. Doesn't look like Rival want to invade just yet. They're just going to go back to farming. They have the lead, although they are split up here, and no teleport coming in from the Thor. Doesn't want to force anything just yet, just looking to farm. However, Lycan did hit 5 a little bit before Rival there. And a lot of that's because they were able to get those mid Harpies as Rival 3-man split the fire elementals. Very low experience there.
And even though you hit level 5 first, not seeing that aggression might have been and even with the Awilix, might just be a little bit traumatized from that first engagement.
Also, the Neith, I mean, she kind of just wants to farm up to get Transcendence early on. If there's an opportunity to get a kill, you'll see it, but
yeah, I mean,
no real need to force it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can get the kill if it comes to you, but you don't want to be forced into another situation where you have to escape by the, what did you say, scales of your teeth?
Yeah, because not skin, the skin of your teeth. Yeah, scales.
Scales of your teeth?
Yeah.
That's
I think we were talking about hair though.
Thor's got a beard and
he's
like,
full. Blue buff invade happening here. Gnome gonna try and defend it. He could get the knockup,
He's
but it's a 4-man rotation. Lycan taking a lot of damage from that bludgeon. Gnome in a little bit of trouble. Will be able to escape though.
The root on the Vamana forces the delayed ultimate, and now Rival, after seeing that they're soloing their ults, you can see Awilix trying to force that, but unable to really find really much of anything, feather step or otherwise. So left side of the map as everything else returns to normalcy. Headhunter will pick up the mid, or pick up the red and head to mid.
And that's just because Barrage put 4 over in the right-hand side of the jungle, meaning there's no, like it's Freya, right? If you have a different hunter, maybe you can try and contest that red, but Freya, she can't walk in unprotected, at least until she has full build and the ability to find kills. Elexum, though, going to be pulled back after the knockup. Speaking of pulled back, it's going to be Atonement into the tower.
Yeah, he gets plucked underneath, but a good Geb shield stops that. And Awilix does, I mean, don't want to call that a mistake, but when you have characters that have escapes that are leaps, as the Awilix, you kind of want to save that ultimate for that, because you know the knockup and a couple of damage, she's going to backflip anyway. You pull her off with a backflip, she's dead. You pull her off of the knockup, she can just backflip out.
Still, though, they got the purification, and now
2.
maybe a solo kill, but Corporeal form just in time. If Jeron hits that second shot, though, maybe it goes.
Or
maybe
the third,
that's
or
first
the
one.
fourth. Jeron off the mark with the Valkyrie's discretion, not able to find the kill. But it will force, like you said, will force his opponent out of lane, so some sort of icing on the cake for Jeron here.
Gold Fury not looked at just yet here. Grouping from the cores, and you know, this is, especially after game 1, game 2 and 3 have been very calculated from both teams. They want to force stuff, but they don't really want to step out of bounds. So they'll look for the aggression, right? They'll steal away the blue buff, but they're not going to get overly aggressive where they could potentially be first blooded because, I mean, with how competitive these teams are, right? If one player dies, the other team, they're going to force their man advantage.
Yeah, you give an inch, they take a mile, and rally here off the mark, rally over there.
That was a kill. Actually, might be a kill anyway. Bludgeon, Neith. No! The bludgeon off the mark. Watson, 2 misplays, honestly. First misses Eagles rally, and then bludgeon. Both would have spelled death.
Watson, now that is just a dropped kill, unfortunately, for Barrage. Awilix is here. If Watson stays, which it looks like he will, he's in some trouble. Jump in, finding anything, a basic, anything. There's a feather step. Hydra takes out Watson, staying just far too long.
And he doesn't have teleport, and there's a lot of archers on this tower. You can see the rotation coming in for Barrage. They recognize that if, honestly, if Awilix stayed there, that probably would have been a tier 1.
If Awilix stays there and tosses out the ultimate, that's a tier 1. Awilix's ultimate is not well celebrated for its ability to take down structures.
Just gives you a little bit of bonus power to swing on your auto attacks. Most people use it, right, for the setup on the kills.
The pull is like, you know, that's what everybody thinks. It's all about the pull, but there's so much other stuff on that Awilix ult.
And Gnome there, able to survive as well as the death of Watson. Still, even in this lane, both have tier 2 of Breastplate of Valor. Gold is dead even as well. Actually, no, okay, about 100 lead now for Gnome after he secured those fire elementals. Not that big. Irrelevant at this point.
Aw, looking for somebody to flip into his jungle. Can't really find it. Yeah, the red buff will be saved this time. Last time it was invaded on, so that was a little bit problematic. Watson gets knocked up, but neither here nor there, and Elexum gets his buff, finally.
Left-hand side Harpies go the way of rival. No team looking at Gold Fury just yet, so we saw the attempted kill over on the right-hand side, although First Blood kind of countered by rival there as Watson staying a little bit too greedy. Mid lane.
Ooh, no targets on the ultimate. A little bit rough for Zenborne, and the ultimate being charged by Neith. Right side, still not going to kill, and again, Lycan can't find the Thor ult, and this Vamana is surviving all because Barrage can't find their targets.
It just seems like they're off the mark every time. The Awilix rotating over with the Geb as well. But it looks like both soul inners, or at the very least, Gnome will go back to base. He has his teleport, not too worried about it. Watson just going to secure his buffs so far. And once again, neither team forcing too much. Watson and Barrage dropping the second kill on Gnome.
Yeah, very, very rough stuff if you're not Gnome. If you're Gnome, you're just sitting there thanking your lucky stars. Like, hey, nobody's hitting anything except for Neith with auto aim, so thank you.
Left side, Jeron recognizes that Geb's kind of lurking around the corner. And a lot of that's just because of positioning in lane. You'll see that a lot at high-level plays. It's harder to notice, but players, not only players, but certain gods will play different ways. And if, you know, Zetman's always aggressive. Well, if he starts backing up a little bit more, well, there's probably a jungler in the area. And I think right there, that was a read by Jeron, recognizing that Headhunter was being aggressive. He probably hadn't been very aggressive, pushing forward, looking for poke trades, and you know, the early parts of the wave, so immediately recognizes that Geb's right around the corner.
Knock up into the pull from Hydra, and Awe doesn't have a leap. He's got Lurking in the waters, though, and the threat of the burst damage coming out from Sobek, enough to make Team Rival leave.
Elexum was right around the corner as well.
Exactly.
Same with Thor, so not really wanting to risk diving for a Sobek. Even if they find the kill, they easily could have got turned around.
And I think that was the thought. Even if there's no guaranteed knowledge of who's around the corner, you get the Sobek kill and you're inevitably going to be turned on. So I like the decision from Rival to play it safe here.
Watson actually going and rotating, securing the right side Harpies, and then he'll be able to meet his wave as well. Lots of farming. Left-hand side, it's going to be a blink. 2 members caught, but it's only Hydra. Elexum still gets stunned out. There's the purification as Lycan hammers out. Rotation from Jeron, though.
Good response.
By himself.
Good response from Barrage. One of them able to avoid the stun out of Geb. And a couple of rotations come here. Awe is going to be off the mark with the Sobek pull. So Hydra should be fine underneath tower, but here comes Watson. That time he hit the bludgeon, but a strong hit from Soul over the wall will deter the Soul laner from continuing.
Once again, Barrage just kind of missing their abilities. We saw multiple things there that could have guaranteed a kill, but not combining properly. Not something we've seen from Barrage in the first 2 games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a little uncharacteristic.
Maybe they're nervous.
I mean, a lot of the series that we've seen from these guys, Rival has just won in 2 games. So maybe the third game taking them off their game a little bit.
It's possible. I mean, they threw away game 1. I wouldn't say threw away because the game was pretty close. Game 2, they got their lead, they secured it. But for the first time, honestly, they're on the back foot because they were the ones leading in the first 2 engagements, in the first 2 games these guys played.
The trio find themselves in the mid lane one more time. Geb looking for something if it was given to him, but not too eager to force the situation.
They are rotating over the left-hand side as Headhunter gets aggressive.
Nice
Find the
slow.
slow under Jeron and a couple basics as well. And this is exactly what Headhunter needs to do in this lane. Freya really good at boxing, but I mean, with that kind of Fatalis effect on your auto attacks, when Soul uses her 1, it's very hard to hit those.
Soul is also just a fantastic matchup heading into Freya because, I mean, Soul is on one end of the spectrum when it comes to clear, and Freya's on the other. Right now, Aw's in some trouble. Chronos the only one sticking to him, and that time rift was so big, but still not enough to take out the Sobek as he's already built into level 2 Pestilence.
Aw's going to go back to base. Headhunter, though, around the corner, going to find the stun. Or, excuse me, the slow onto Lycan, and there's the ultimate as well. The knockup, but not enough damage. Hammers out. Neith, the ult was used on someone there in the mid lane as Jeron has rotated to try and protect it, but no one to follow up except for Watson. 2-man Eagles rally, but he's stunned as Gnome turns on him. Jeron can't find the last hits on Valkyrie's discretion, though. And Rival, they're going to walk out with the tower.
Intelligently doesn't chase that. Jeron probably could have killed Geb there. But he also probably would have died off of an easy rotation from Team Rival. So he recognizes, aw shucks, I'll just retreat.
Gold Fury, though, being looked at right now. Actually, more than looked at. It started up by Barrage. Atonement, he's going to smell it out. He does have time stop and
burst.
time rift. They're all grouped up, but Barrage, they've secured it.
Yeah, time rift comes a little bit late, but meanwhile the pincer maneuver from 2 basic attackers and Gnome. Thor goes in the air, tries to cut off the exit.
All's dead. They've basically sacrificed the alligator. They've sacrificed the crocodile to the Nile to earn themselves some gold, and
I mean,
they'll take it. That's worth.
Every single support player out there is going to say, I will answer yes to the question, would you trade your life for a gold fury for the team? Every single support player is going to say yes.
Assuming the other team doesn't get like Fire Giant off it.
Right.
You know,
But, I mean, if there's 4 members up, you assume that your team's not going to let them get fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, a support for gold fury, always good in my eyes. Rival, of course, taking out this tier 1.
Barrage has rotated over, but it's not going to be in time, or at the very least, they're not going to be able to force the fight. Player damage, it's actually Rival sitting at the top for the most part, outside of Watson, who's put out a lot of poke on a Gnome early game. Less than 3,000 for the Neith.
Ooh.
Thor as well, only 1,200.
Not
Not a lot of action coming out.
No, I like that play in the long lane, though. Just, you're not going to back here. There's 0 follow-up. Freya's all alone, but just a little nonsense. Sometimes nonsense is just exactly what you need. Mid lane, we'll see the wave pushed up under tower, but Geb's going to be here to mitigate some of that nonsense. 14 on the clock here, folks. We're in game number 3. Team Rival find themselves up 2 kills to 0. With gold, though, quite an even match. 600, even less than that, in the favor of Team Rival. So, for all intents and purposes.
And that's really good on Rival, right? Even though they lost the first Gold Fury, it's shown that they've had control of this game for the most part. And it's been Barrage pressured. The last few times, it was Barrage with the lead both times. They had full momentum. They had the kill leads here. And now right-hand side, Watson. He's been the target for most of the game coming out from Rival. And now it's going to be a 5v1. Watson ult's in place, though. He's going to get turned on as Hydra comes crashing down. He's going to find one, and it's Zenborne to be taken out.
Mid-Cataclysm, very important timing on that kill as Watson going to find an exit on the south side. Here comes Gnome up in the big baby, and Oz happy just to keep boxing. The ultimate will wind up being used up, and now Gnome being chased under the tower. Valkyrie discretion.
Teleport in. Sprint popped by Watson. He's going for it. He wants more kills. Whoop. Barrage. Find another. They've evened up the kill markers. Now Soul is split pushing, but she hasn't even been able to get a tower. It's going to be the right side traded out, and only 2 left to defend this tier 2.
Barrage doesn't show any signs of stopping. Want to keep on down this right-hand lane. 4 members strong. Sobek's going to go defend against the left side. And Zenborne finds the Cataclysm. Only works on 1. Period out is Thor. There's Watson. Elexum going to root out Zenborne as well. Stopping Hydra is Jeron. Now still putting in damage into the tower. Jeron not a hunter, so not going to damage that too much.
He can't clear it fast enough. And honestly, Barrage, they stayed a little bit too long. Doesn't look like Rival are going to force them out. And honestly, a little bit questionable. They sent Oliver to defend against this Soul. And it's not the best matchup for him, but the ultimate from Headhunter, it looks like it was already used and all. Just going to kind of annoy Headhunter. Don't allow him to back for free.
Hydra's up. And Hydra's down. Fine Soul, but it's in her immune form.
Lycan. Oh, beautiful stun there. Sanctuary's good for now. Berserker's Barrage canceled out, and now it's a 2v1. But Headhunter, he could turn this. No one else. He does have the Sport of Geb. Beautifully timed shield there, muting most of the damage. And now Lycan, he's on the wrong side of this one.
Gnome's going to come as well. All likely dead if they can find the hit, and they will. Headhunter picks up a kill, but he will find a death himself. But Jeron can't find the hit. He's surrounded by enemies, and before Headhunter takes the spill, he's able to deal the kill. Jeron falls down, unable to find the hole between 4 different members of Team Rival, and that allows Headhunter to wind up on top.
Watson pulled back into the team. Chain CC'd, had no chance to move. Had 0 chance to move there. Tier 2 tower falls down, and Rival find themselves 2,500 gold in the lead.
Elexum shows up just to farm the wave. Team Rival, I would say there's nothing for them to get off of that because Gold Fury's down, but they just got a lot with the 2 towers, and they're going to take a look towards another one in the middle lane. No minions here, though, so it'll be tough, but not able to find it. Defense from Barrage, a little too strong, just a small response.
Still a very close game, though. Only 2,000 separating the squads. A lot of the towers knocked down very early, only 17 minutes in, and there's only 3 towers still up for Barrage. Their soul lane has held well, but the dual lane's been targeted, and the most worrying part about this is it's going to be hard for Jeron to farm. He's going to be, open to ganks quite often.
Yeah, he's level 15 right now, looking across the way at his enemy. Well, Hunter, the Soul, 17, 2-0-2, and 50 stacks of Doom Orb. Freya in a little bit of a, well, she's 1,000 gold down, folks. It's a little bit rough for Freya this time around. Gold Fury started by Team Rival. Still continuing. I figured they dropped this here, Kevin, but looks like Rival very willing to take this game of chicken to the end. Knockup gonna miss. Aw, starting the fight now. Very fast is the Sobek in the ultimate, just giving chase, and everybody from Rival gonna head out onto the right side towards the mid lane. Aw, not gonna get the pluck. There's this Neith ultimate, not gonna find it, but Hydra will, and that forces Freya, or Awilix, out of the fight. Meanwhile, Atonement picks up Gnome picks up Watson. That's 2 for Team Rival.
This is Rivals. This is Rivals' fight to take. Gnome finds a double kill, and now Atonement surging forward. Jeron nowhere to go. 2 more basics should secure it, and it's gonna be Atonement to find it. Teleport coming in, but that's Rival Soul Laner, I think, and Elexum. He was forced back. Now a 5-man grouping from Team Rival. They win that fight 4 for 1. They get a tier 2 off. They're going to be able to walk over to the Gold Fury as well, and I don't see Elexum stealing this one away.
This one's going to be very, very tough. Barrage, Sobek's up. Everyone else is going to be sitting for a decent amount of time. As you said, Elexum probably not the guy to steal it. Already halfway down. That's Team Rivals. A free 99.
Let's head to the graphs here, see how far these teams are separated. 6,700 after that one. A massive dip. You could see just about the 17 to 18 minute mark. I mean, it was a dead even game, and all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, Rival, they've opened it up, and it's their game right now. 10-2 in kills as well. And just look at the experience as well. These players, all of them, multiple levels down.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of games were very close and took a while, and then eventually we saw the teams sort of distance each other from themselves and find the win. This one seems a little bit different, KK. I'm looking at Team Rival right now. They're up 7K at 20 minutes. They don't really show any signs of stopping. I mean, I think this one not only will be a little bit more, not only shorter game, but I think it's going to be a lopsided game. Rival just crushing it at the moment.
You can see Barrage, though, they're grouped up for now. 2 of their members, though, not with them. It's Awe and Jeron, and you could see Barrage, they have to back off. This tier 1 tower is being sieged, and now Lycan caught alone. He'll be able to get up into his ult in time, but he'll have to take a trip back to the fountain if he wants to fight this.
And that's exactly what Thor is going to do. Head right on back to base, which gives the power play over to Rival. Keep in mind that Thor ultimate also down, so the counter engage not quite available for Barrage, at least as strong as they'd like it. Rival know that, and Rival's going to push on in. There's the blink cataclysmatic gab and the pull from Awilix, but Elexum able to find some safety. Rally over here, 3 men stunned, and Watson trying to find the damage onto Atonement, forced into the rewind.
But he's going to actually walk right back in, and a beautiful wall is going to trap him away from his team. It's going to be a win for Barrage so far, 1-0. All sieges forward. He actually catches Headhunter alone. The Geb shield's there to keep him alive, but I mean, surrounded by 4, and the rest of his
Freya
team doesn't look like they want to help. He's going to fall. Lycan hammers forward. No, it's 1 at a time. This is a reverse. This is exactly like game 1, except in reverse. 1 at a time. Barrage are picking these players off.
And Zenborne dead. 5 members of Barrage just collapse on the support. Sobek sitting there level 13 or so with 2 very tank-specific items, but he could have been basically naked the way Barrage were able to take him out. So the Fire Giant now, the focus. Gnome will stick his nose into the business of Barrage, and everybody's going to tear off. Look at Hydra.
And Gnome not able to get his damage off. He's going to be forced back. A lot of that, too, the Cursed used by Barrage. Not too scared of Gnome there. And they're going to keep this up. With being so far behind, they kind of just want to force this. And you can see Gnome actually just focusing on these players in the backline. Don't allow Jeron to help do damage. But he's going to get turned on as Lycan comes crashing down. But this is allowing Atonement to get in here. This is going to be close. It's not free. Awe in a lot of trouble. Dashes forward. Atonement turns his attention. And still Barrage somehow managed to get the Fire Giant.
But they don't get it for free. They wind up trading the life of Awe, which is their support.
What'd you say about Gold Fury?
I said that about Gold Fury, that I would trade my support for a Gold Fury any day of the week.
What about Fire Giant?
Fire Giant's a little bit different. I'm still happy with the Fire Giant. I still definitely want the Fire Giant. But if you get your support online with that Fire Giant, sieging towers is just so simple. With that in mind, though, Barrage still has their tanky frontline solo laner, so that's available. It's definitely not a bad thing to just lose support for a Fire Giant, but...
Look at these. All these tier 1 winged blades or Fatalis being built for Rivals, so they have a gold lead still, even after losing Fire Giant, and they're kind of spending them on utility items, just trying to get in and out of fights better. I imagine it's going to be it has to be Fatalis, since Gnome already has a winged blade, but it's going to be a winged blade for both the Chronos and the Awilix. And against the multiple slows by Barrage, I really like this. Mostly the Freya.
Yeah, not only do I like that, I love the runic shield as we just watched Soul just get totally smoked. The Geb shield will help for the moment, but Watson able to jump in. We'll get pulled, but a big deal coming out from Watson. We escape. He's got the Fire Giant and he's very tanky, but
actually,
still in a bad spot.
Lycan comes crashing down as well. Atonement trying to get the rewind off, but it's not there. All frontline very low. Still finds a pluck on the Gnome. He gets a Geb shield and he's going to go into Colossal Baby. He'll be fine for now as Barrage just kite him around, though. The HP 5, I mean, the regeneration for Fire Giant, very useful here. It's going to be a quick pause, but Barrage sieging up multiple lanes here. There's only, I believe it was 3 left alive there in the mid lane for Rival. They're going to have to try and defend that against the 4-man squad.
This This one has been rough, honestly, for both teams. You've seen sometimes we get this back and forth, but this is all in favor of one team and then all in favor of the other team. It's not even teeter-tottering in individual fights like game one.
A lot of this for me has been Watson, right? Not only have his ultimates been very good because they found multiple players, but the fights continue in that ring, right? In the Eagles rally. That's, I believe, at max range, it's 50 protections, right? Yeah. It's only rank 4 right now, so 40, but still, I mean, that's doing a lot.
It's definitely a very big deal when it comes to these siege and
fire. Cataclysm.
Great Cataclysm, and it's going to set up. Hydra's in some trouble, though, Cataclysm or not. The Feather Step won't save him. Elexum gets the kill, but Gnome answers right on back with an immediate turnaround. Phoenix going down here, and it will fall. Team Rival, they only have 2 birds left.
All right, trading your support for a kill and a Phoenix. What's the call?
Trading the support for the... yeah, of course.
Okay. And look at this. 2, 5, and 6. He has been dying a lot. He's been a part of 8 of 10 of Barrage's kills, so 80% kill participation so far. But, I mean, he's been bad. That's the thing, though. You'll see him. Like, he'll go in. He'll miss his pluck, right? He always misses the first pluck. And then he just gets annihilated down to, like, 20% health. And then he comes back in. Gold Fury, though, could be contested. Actually, it's stolen away by Rival. Barrage trying to sneak one under their nose, but they smell it out.
Freya, all by herself, does have a sprint available, and Lycan's wall might save her a little bit, but clearly the path gets rooted. Well played by Elexum, but now Jeron, no more tools after the ultimate's used, so as soon as his Valkyrie lands on the floor, surrounded, knock up. Sanctuary will get rid of sun damage, but not all of it. Headhunter with the kill.
They've actually baited a lot, though. I mean, that Freya stayed alive for so long that Watson was able to take out Chronos in the backline, and now the rest of Barrage, they've rotated in. Headhunter on the wrong side of the wall. Headhunter on the wrong side of the team. One more hit, Barrage. It's going to be them taking her out, and now this Geb, I mean...
Not able to stop the roll.
You can run away all you want, but there's 4 members of Barrage. There's a wall in your face. And it's going to be Berserker's Barrage to actually finish him off. Sprint is popped. 1 Phoenix remains, and it looks like that's exactly what Barrage are looking for.
Yeah, right up the left-hand side. 26 on the clock. Kills are even, but the gold, well, gold is actually more even than we might have expected. It's gone down, it's gone up, but now settling near the middle. 1,000 gold on Barrage. A little bit of a lead, but not much to speak about. Shell popped as Awe starts to tank the Phoenix. Barrage are pretty much all in here. And this is a good opportunity for Rival to take advantage if the Awilix and Gnome feel up to the task.
And they are. Look at this. Watson face tanking so far. 2 versus 1. Atonement's here as well. Sieging forward. There's going to be the bludgeon. But, I mean, he's fighting 1 versus 3. Doesn't matter. He's got to ult in place. Eagles rally stunned out. Coming around the corner. There's the knock-up. And it's going to be Lycan dunking down. Atonement gets the rewind. But all of Rival are coming off of their deaths.
The knockup from Geb is going to put the Sobek in a spot where he's got to think twice about being so aggressive. Gnome doesn't catch it, though. Finally does after the slow hits. And the knockup into a basic secures the kill. Headhunter off of the assist from Gnome. Everybody looking at Jeron now in the air, looking for the hit. Neith arrow will be intercepted by Atonement, and the double kill goes to the Hunter on Soul for Team Rival.
14 to 15 in kills. I mean, just back and forth. There hasn't been a single clean engage. There's been a couple where the players and the teams have been able to pick each other off one at a time, but it's just the fact that a lot of these players, they're not level 20, right? 18,
nope.
Not too bad, but especially in the earlier fights, you would see these fights that would rage on from one Phoenix to the next, or one side of the map to the next,
right.
And because the spawns, they were, kind of around 30 seconds, if someone died at the start of the fight, they'd come back in and make an impact kill at the end.
Just not seeing that anymore as the death timers have counted up. Team Rival. Fire Giant has been started. Elexum is not even hiding. I mean, he's showing up on the front lawn saying, hey, I'm outside.
I like this. It's kind of just, Rival are a little bit scared to get their damage off because of that. And Zenborne caught on a wall once again. Cataclysms 2 does find a 2-man knock-up, and over the wall, it's Watson plucked out of position.
Very
Can't find the kill, though.
Pull. Watson might have been able to kill multiple people there, but the pull from Awilix, too important. And Awe will use his ultimate to get rid of the Feather Step root.
You know what's funny, kind of, is the displacement in this game, right? You have Awilix, who can pull people over walls. You have Watson, who kind of has a knock-up to disrupt the team fight. A blink from Geb can obviously, reposition himself. Headhunter as well has Corporeal form, so he can go immune and then move around. Atonement resets its life. There's kind of a lot of mobility and escapability from kind of both these squads that it's so hard to lock down the players.
Aw's going to not find his way to safety after a wall from his own teammate blocks him out. But Lycan's going to go up into the sky looking for a hit onto anybody that gives themselves up. Watson will have to find a way out on the right. Well, Hydra lands on the left, and Sanctuary stops Jeron's damage, but Watson has no Sanctuary available, and Headhunter able to find the kill while Gnome continues on, slows out Jeron. Basics are coming out. There's the baby, knowing Lycan's damage is going to follow up. Trying to find the kills. Fatalis is there. Gnome, couple more basics. The distance created.
He can't find it.
Gotta get out. There it is. Gets the kill on Jeron under the tower.
Hydra picks up Awe as well near the end of that fight, and only 2 players left alive for Barrage Rival. They've extended their kill lead now to 18-14, and they're looking at the Fire Giant, but still 2 members to defend it. No Thor ult there, but they do still have the damage. Can Barrage make it in time? Fire Giant down to about 60%. Elexum getting zoned out by Gnome. Gnome actually zoning both of those players out. 30% on the Fire Giant. They can't get in. No, they are. Elexum's in, but taking a lot of damage.
Spirit Arrow already used.
Barrage steal the Fire Giant. It's the double tap coming out from the Thor hammer. Gnome, he's going to chase down Elexum, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
All of the attention paid to the mid-hunter. Nobody looking at Lycan on the side, and Thor's able to steal the Fire Giant with a cheeky hammer. 18-14 read the kills, but I don't care. The gold is even, and Barrage wind up with the Fire Giant.
On 2 members only, as the rest of Barrage were dead, but still, it's the fact that they took it away from Rival more than anything. Because that would have, I'm not going to say that's a guaranteed Phoenix, but at the very least, it means Rival are going to be stronger. They're going to have an easier time sieging up the Phoenixes. And now, it's a dead even game. Neither team is full build yet. A little bit surprising, but with how action-packed this game has been, players aren't able to kind of farm as efficiently as they normally do.
Yeah, there hasn't been that just sit down and, solo lane valley, if you will. It's all been constant team fights, constant rotations. Looking at Gold Fury since minute 9, team fights in the long lane, team fights in the mid. Everything has just been so, what an active game we have here in total. Just over 30 kills, right? And Barrage and Team Rival have been able to benefit both from the hyperactivity of this match.
Barrage sieging up the last tower left standing for Rival, but they are 5 members strong here, so this isn't going to be free. It's going to be Zenborne actually knocked into the team, gets the Cataclysm off. All pretty low here, and on the side, it's the junglers fighting it out. Look at this, though. Gnome, Fatalis ripping through the team, trying to find Jeron, but the sprint's going to allow him to create space for now, and I think Barrage, they're, even with Fire Giant on 2 players, I think they've given this one up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Rival can really find much. The silly lazy backs will have to stop if you're Barrage, but Rival trying to give chase.
And now, funny enough, these are the only 2 towers left standing. The tier 2s in the solo lane side, and it's going to be a reverse push here. Rival this time, trying to force Barrage off, and with all back in base, it's going to be a lot easier.
And the minions are here to get rid of backdoor protections as well, so this tower should fall down very quickly. There it is. Absolutely destroyed. Team Rival wind up with 1,500 more gold on their side. Sneak their lead to about 2K.
I mean, there's no, the leads here don't really matter too much.
Yeah. So back and forth.
Both teams kind of looking. Honestly, at this point, both teams could win a single team fight, and if they win it cleanly, siege up the middle and probably win the game. But it's still not going to be that easy. Elexum actually trying to find Hydra lazy backing here. Atonement caught on the wrong side of the wall. He's going to rewind, but I mean, where's he going to land up? It's actually still in the middle of Barrage. The rest of his team trying to peel from him. Sanctuary's good for now, but stunned out from the Neith arrow.
Geb Shield will save the life of the Chronos for the moment.
The turnaround.
Hydra comes down and gets a stun, but Jeron able to take out Atonement before he's able to escape with that rewind down. Oh, can't find the exit, and Headhunter sends him back to base the hard way.
2v1 right here. Geb waiting around the corner. Gnome takes out Lycan on the side, but Jeron, he's actually turning around. He is knocked up, and it's going to be a hunter tool, a magical hunter tool. Jeron loses it. Hydra over the wall, looking for the knockup. Nice. He barely jukes it out, but here comes Gnome chasing him down. One more auto, and it's Gnome to finish off Jeron.
Freya with no lifesteal in her build outside of that Polynomicon, not really able to sit there and battle like the Bancroft build of yesteryear. It's all about that Polynomicon now that's been buffed.
Gnome's not done. Fatalis doing work right now. Elexum can't even turn around. He's going to be slowed. Here's Headhunter as well.
Oh.
And it's going to be one more hit. Watson rotates in. Bludgeon off the mark, though.
I love the position. I love the way that Soul shot that ability, where he shoots it behind the target. Because when you see the Soul in the jungle, you're gonna run away. Oh no, it can't go that way. So you just turn around and
it guarantees
there like
you have two options, right? You can't run back to your tower, or you can't run back to the base. Otherwise, you're gonna get hit by that stellar burst. If you run back towards the lane, you're gonna run into Gnome. If you run into the jungle, you're running into Headhunter. It's not worth. Gold Fury though, gonna be secured by Rival here, uncontested. Now's kind of their power play, right? This is going to give them about a 5,000 to 6,000 gold lead.
This lead matters.
5,200. This lead matters, but only for a couple minutes. You can see Barrage haven't finished off their builds, at least most of them. There's only, I think, one player who has. No player on Barrage have finished off their builds. So now Rival, this is their opportune moment. While they still have an item up, 5 more minutes, dead even, doesn't matter.
We'll take a look where the teams opt to go here as we cross our 30-minute, half-hour mark and head into the late game. Fire Giant is about to respawn, so teams have to be aware of that. Taking a look at the map with respects to the ward coverage, not too much on the right side. A little bit sprinkled here or there, but nothing really of gigantic consequence.
This has been a back and forth match. So early on, Rival have a 10-2 kill lead, and I think about 6,000 gold.
Very low.
All of a sudden, Barrage just start battling back. They start battling back, and they make the kills even until about, they have 14, and I think Rival had 12 or 13. And then ever since then, it's been Rival chipping away, finding the kills, and Barrage, they've only had 1 kill in the past, I think, 8 minutes, so haven't been able to win these team fights.
Struggling to really find their footing. We'll take a look at where that actually comes to fruition, if anything.
And a lot of it, too, is because they're not fighting with Watson. They're fighting smaller engagements. You see a lot of 1v2s, 3v2s off to the side.
Right.
But when they were winning fights, a lot of it was because they had Watson hard engage, or Watson kind of bait himself. Rival would all in him, and then he would just Eagles rally, finding multiple stuns, and they would just fight in that protection aura.
Which is the same strategy that we saw come out from Watson when he played so well in the Hades, in the sense that he's not the initiation, he's the secondary initiation, and then you're just guaranteed to be stuck in whatever whirlwind of hell Watson decides to bring to you. So I like that gameplay, but we need to see more of the secondary initiation of Watson. If he's the first one in, it doesn't really seem to make things work for his team.
Fire Giant, Rival, they're going to use their power play. They have an item lead right now, but it's only for a short while. Oh, caught off on the side as Gnome is on zone duty. Actually pops Sprint. No, it's Elexum who pops Sprint, just trying to get out. But the call is for Rival to force the engagement. They drop Fire Giant, but Barrage, they're already out of the range.
Yeah, usually you want to drop that Fire Giant to get the element of surprise for the kill on your opponent, but no kill going to happen. With that in mind, Rival still have all their ultimates available, so nothing wasted, so to speak.
Hydra has his ultimate if they can find a knock-up and pull someone over the side. But I think Barrage know that Rival don't even want to force this. Rival are like, we really don't want to bait ourselves into a Fire Giant pit again.
Yeah, Rival's trying to bait Barrage. They don't want to take the fire, they want to take the fight. And without Barrage taking the bait, they'll just go for the fight. The raw fight. Headhunter, Geb shielded, but already half HP. Jeron in the air, waiting for the form to wind up over, and Watson is going to be the one to find the kill. But he can't get it until Lycan shows up, and Watson stays a little too long. Atonement able to take him out, and now from the side, Gnome tries to stop the onslaught. And Zenborne likely to fall, and he will. Jeron with his 4th kill.
Hydra teleporting into this team fight, though, and it's actually going to be a turnaround. Atonement snipes out. Oh, Sprint is popped. Atonement, he's the target, and a root over the wall. He'll rewind, though, right back into the jungle, very far away from the rest of the team. Jeron, scared of the Awilix ult. The potential for it purifies out, and it's going to be a reset across the map, 2 for 2.
I love what Hydra does there as well, as now they get aggressive and look towards Elexum, dodging out the root, sanctuaried the feather step, and whoop, there it is, safety for Elexum.
Atonement trying to find the time rift here, gonna speed up, looking for the auto attacks. One more could find it, but he can't connect, and the backflip's good. Gnome, though, should be able to finish this off, and Atonement turns his attention now. 4 dead on the side of Barrage. Watson, 5 seconds. Oh, 12 seconds. The rest 50 plus. This is going to be a Phoenix.
Easy peasy. That Chronos just chews through the Phoenixes. We'll see Chronos head back into the jungle. 38 minutes of competition so far. Team Rival find themselves just underneath 10,000 gold of a lead. 7K. To be a little bit more specific, Hydra gets a big chunk, but Lycan will not likely follow him too far.
He's not going to be able to chase this.
Yeah, especially with Headhunter.
Here.
Yep. Turn around.
He's like, I'm sorry, it was just a joke, guys. Just kidding. Everyone, though, in this game, full build. The only one looking to finish off are the supports. And it's a Mantle of Discord, more than likely. Could be a Spirit's Robe as well, with the amount of CC on the side of Rival that All is looking for. And then one more item left for Gab. Fire Giant started up once again by Headhunter, but Barrage are already waiting in the corner, and Headhunter throws his ult over the wall, but no one really taking the bait and walking into that corridor.
Sprint activated from Barrage, so they'll be able to find a way out on the south side. Rival still looking at the Fire Giant.
Rival, they had an option to force it, but I think they waited a little bit too long. It's at 70%. Actually, no, the carries for Barrage aren't going to be able to get here in time. But they reset once again.
Nah, Fire Giant still slowly ticking down. Now 40% at the moment. Pull onto Awe, and the stun not going to hit because of the ultimate. Awe under the water looking for the burst damage onto Hydra, and it comes, but Tail Whip won't. Headhunter able to take out Sobek before any more damage is dealt. Same deal with Hydra as Lycan winds up on the good side of that one. 4 members of Rival funneled into this corridor. Barrage, no way to really capitalize off of it, and Gnome by himself.
Sprints popped, and you can see Barrage searching for it. They find Headhunter looking for Gnome, but Gnome says no. I'm going to turn this around on you. Atonement left alone with Lycan, takes him out, soloed there, and Gnome somehow managing to escape. Oh man, Atonement though, he'll be fine. You can see the ward coverage in favor of Rival there in this jungle as Elexum backs right on top, and Barrage. Their Phoenix was under, or their Titan was under attack, so someone had to go back, and it was Watson, and once again, another reset, 28-19 in kills. Rival still getting the better of the engagements.
Fire Giant was so low there, like 39% or so. 40 at the very least, so unable to really find the kill onto the Fire Giant. No, I'm thinking about things just a little bit.
Quick pause, get back into the action soon. 40 minutes into this one, and I mean, this is a game that we deserved for a best-of-3 set that's 1-1 so far. Both these teams in the finals, basically every single week, I think outside of week 1. This has been a very close matchup.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have gone head-to-head, and Rival has wound up on the winning side more often than not, but more often, not absolutely. We have seen a couple of wins come out from Barrage, so interesting matchup. And, you know, as you said, this is what we deserve after 6 full weeks of qualification. This will be the final one, and then when we swing around onto split number 2 for the fall, that's when we'll be able to see these teams play in a league.
Neither team able to close this one out, though. Both have had a couple opportunities. The only tower left in the map right now, right-hand side, solo lane. It's Rivals, tier 2. However, Barrage haven't had control of the match for quite some time now. It's been Rival forcing the engagements. Honestly, this game might have been over if Rival had been able to secure that Fire Giant, but Lycan coming up with a big steal as Elexum kind of distracted all of Rival. Everyone's like, oh, then he's trying to steal. Oh, there's a Thor. Oh, there's a hammer. We're done. I'm mad.
I like the itemization choice coming out from Barrage. They have not just 2 runic shields, but also a frostbound hammer. If you take a look at Team Rival's lineup, you've got Chronos and Soul, which are definitely in-hand attackers, and then Vamana, who is more of an in-hand attacker as the game gets later, and he winds up in the baby more often. And Awilix is not a basic attacker, but can be after her abilities are used. So that runic shield is going to slow down a little bit.
Also, 4 Bulwarks and a Pestilence. The Pestilence, funny enough, picked up by Neith, so not a full damage build.
Nope.
On this mid laner.
With the
Elexum looking to survive some of the burst coming out of those mages.
You know, Neith's build is interesting. She's got a lot of the power, but doesn't opt to go into crit or just straight pen. Will pick up the chin sai, so the power and the power a little bit less intensive.
It's a little odd build, not really focused on one thing, right? You always want to go into either like, I want to swing hard or I want to use a lot of abilities with penetration.
Right. And this one's spread out a little bit. With that said, I don't hate it, honestly, Kevin. Like you've got the Transcendence, and that'll give your abilities some oomph. But the Chinsai Asi combination will make sure that you can actually deliver your Chinsai, and then at the end, the Pestilence to give you some survivability. I don't hate this build.
Back at it again, though. Fire Giant started by Rival. They're going to drop and reset it as Jeron is zoned out by Headhunter for now, but all 5 members of Barrage grouped up here. Elexum going to be forced to use Purification. Gnome on that front line, just being the enforcer, just bullying off Barrage.
Full HP on the Neith, despite being Awilix pulled. Not a good look if you are your Awilix player.
And with those Purification down, I mean, if I'm Rival, I'm looking at focusing on Elexum, but instead, it's actually Awe who finds a pluck. Headhunter thrown back into the team, but he's fine for now.
Jeron trying to deal damage to the
Gnome's by himself.
Yeah, Thor's up, though.
They're scared to damage him, though.
Thor's
They're actually very scared to damage him. He comes crashing down. He finds the stun onto Hydra. Watson trying to follow up, and there's Headhunter throwing out his ultimate. Players on both teams very low. No players to fall just yet. All knocked up, and it looks like Rival, they've given this up. They're going to back off. Atonement throws the time rift over the wall. Not going to connect.
Geb Shield's so important in that one. So important.
Watson TP'd back in. Gnome has his teleport available as well. Headhunter already in base. And honestly, Rival could lose their last tower here if Barrage elect to siege it up.
Yeah, Jeron's still pushing the gas, and with Watson here, this looks like it could be a tower as long as Neith follows up. It doesn't look like Barrage want to go for it.
I think, so this is a little bit worrying for me. I mean, Barrage very easily could have killed Gnome there. He was isolated from the rest of the team, but they were just too scared of extending that Big Baby ultimate. This late into the game, he's not that tanky, right? No. Especially if Freya can find him, she's going to shred right through him.
That was the problem. Freya's gunballs wore off, so she was just sitting there with a wet noodle, not having her buffs up. And the other players opted not to follow up.
Watson sitting here on the front line. The rest of Barrage split up, dealing with someone in the back line, and it was Gnome. And Watson rally here. Finds a stun, but Rival, they're going to back off. They've lost 1 member already. They're going to wait for him to respawn. 64 seconds on Vamana.
Watson not going to be able to back immediately as he wants. Interrupted thanks to Awilix. And the Fire Giant has been started. 70% already very quickly. Finding itself lower and lower and lower. The whoop set up from Jeron. He gets slowed by the mud pit. And Fire Giant has hurt Jeron more than the other team in this engagement.
And taking some more shots. You could see most of Barrage has taken about 20% of the life, and the team is trying to find Hydra. They know he's alone. There's the stun. No Purification. Jeron finds the last hit. Hydra comes crashing down, and that's 2 dead so far on the side of Rival. Barrage with their first opportunity in about 20 minutes to make something happen, and they're looking at the tier 2.
Sobek will tank it up here. We'll see the bases coming out from Neith, more importantly over the Hunter position, Jeron. Neith is definitely going to hurt that tower a little bit more than Jeron does with the Titan's Bane and the Aussie.
Oh, not very tanky right now, especially against Headhunter. You can see that Soul Reaver doing a lot. Sprint is popped. Shell as well. It looks like the team's just looking for the Phoenix, though. Watson to the back line, but by himself. Beautiful Geb Shield will keep him alive, and it's just going to be a Phoenix. Chronos has respawned, however, Hydra still dead. 45 seconds, 5 members of Barrage, but it's Zenborne to the backline, and now Barrage full retreat as Jeron is just getting beat down by Gnome.
Yeah, there's just nowhere for her to go but to the sky. The ultimate from Gnome will run out, and Jeron will continue leaving thanks to a pluck from Awe. Thanks to a knock-up from Awe. Awe really helping out his Hunter here, but it's just not going to work. Clear the Path should come up, and Awe's going to fall to Atonement. And if they keep on chasing Freya.
Lycan tries to hammer over the wall, but just off the mark, still stuck in the geometry of the map. Can't teleport over. Watson left alone. Watson actually pulls into the team. Time Rift just off the mark, and Watson's going to be able to Eagles rally away. 5 members of Rival looking to return the favor of that middle Phoenix. Both of them are weak, you can see. It's at about half.
Gnome here, second in the lead, as you see the Geb right up in front. That's going to make your front lineup for Team Rival likely see those characters literally in the front to prevent the damage onto the backside, and all of the damage going onto the Phoenix itself. Hydra now tanking, doesn't want to do that, jumps out,
they give it up. Down. A little bit surprising to see Rival give that up, considering they still had a couple ultimates available. There was 2 players dead for Barrage, but instead they walk away. I guess they want to do Fire Giant. I think this is just them being a little bit scared.
Yeah, scared, safe. Either way, pick your poison. Rival not opting to get super aggressive. Leaves the Phoenix up. Awilix ult was on cooldown, so don't have that available for the siege.
The Spear of Desolation online for Headhunter. You can already see 45,000 damage. He's topping the charts, and that was before he had the most powerful magical item in the game next to Vradith Tahuti.
I love that item on Freya too as well. It removes 8 seconds from your cooldowns, which means that Freya who activates her Pulse Radiant, if she finds a kill, can just do it again. It's a devastating item on Freya. We see the Talkine's Ring stuck to here this time around for Barrage. Sometimes you'll see players trade that out late game for the Spear of Desolation. Not this time around. Dancing around the Fire Giant. Not really able to find a target or go for the fight. There's Awe dashing right on in, off the mark. However, the Cataclysm certainly not. Hydra dropping the ultimate to keep Watson out of the fight. And Awe will lurk in the waters himself to find an exit.
Awe is not very tanky. Sprint popped in. Actually, it's Lycan who comes crashing down. You can see 3 members of Rival very low. They're chasing out Headhunter. He's 1 health, but he gets into the Corporeal form. Jeron switches targets, but it's Atonement on the side there who gets disarmed. He's going to be able to reset, but where's he going to wind up? Actually, in safety, somehow. No players on Rival die. You could see multiple members very low, but this should finally be a Fire Giant for Barrage, unless Atonement, he could have a miracle. I mean, we've seen it already.
Gnome teleports in, shows his face too soon, and Barrage doesn't want to chance it.
When's the last time Fire Giant was taken? Like minute 30?
27 minutes off the double tap steal from a Thor.
That's when it was. The only Fire Giant yet taken was stolen. And ever since then, these teams a little bit wary to committing to it.
Hey man, he stole it with a hammer. I don't even want to look at it. I think that's what both sides are saying.
Gnome here on the front line. Blink in. Cataclysm off the mark. And I don't think Barrage is going to die to this one. Actually, maybe All gets actually cut off mid-dash there, but he does go into lurking in the waters. He's going to try and get some damage off of Gnome, but the movement speed from Winged Blade and Fatalis a little bit too much.
Yeah, that ultimate out of Awe just to prevent the enemy team from getting too close to his own, like that play at a Sobek. Just a pure zonage ult. The Metal Phoenix respawns up. Will it survive? Certainly looks like it. The wave is all the way in the middle.
Jeron being chased. He has sprint, though. Should be good. Fatalis as well. A lot of movement speed. Like I said, a lot of survivability from both these squads. Very hard to lock down players. Yep. Even though we've had 21 to 30 kills, that seems like a lot. With how much action we had, we should have seen like 100 kills in this game.
Right. We saw a lot of team fights where it was 100% all in, all ultimates used, and one person dies. Right? Like,
maybe two. Maybe two people.
Maybe an answer back kill while they were retreating, but in general, it's been tough to really
just
find.
Look at the damage. There's 2 players above 40,000,
wow.
2 players at 30,000 plus, and three more following up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's been a lot of damage. It's been a lot of fighting from both squads, but neither team can somehow find just a clean victory where they can walk in and end. And right now, with weakened Phoenixes on both sides, all it takes one fight where you wipe 3 or 4 players without losing someone, it's game over.
And that's what both of these squads are really hoping for. The gold is largely irrelevant right now. Team Rival has had the momentum for a little bit. But everybody generally full build outside of the supports, and they'll be there soon enough, if not already. So
no, just doesn't care. Fighting 2 players. It's going to be Jeron actually around the corner. Honestly, Rival have Barrage split up here, and they're looking for Watson. Watson, Eagles rally, already down, and Gnome going to be able to chase him down.
Hydra's up in the sky looking to help his team out, whether it's offensive or defensive.
Look at that. Jeron actually out life-stealing the damage coming up from Gnome right now. Just does not have enough at 51 minutes in to do that. To chase down Jeron, which he's been doing for most of the game, he can't really do it anymore.
Neith is charged to the ult, looking for something off of the stun. Gonna cancel it. And Barrage gonna walk back up the mid lane after being chased down the mid lane. There's a stun onto Atonement. Will it find the pluck? Not gonna find it. Purification or otherwise. Result is the same. Atonement not able to be plucked.
It's going to be the Geb Shield, used to immune a lot of that damage. All now caught alone. Rewind from Atonement puts him actually behind the squad, and it's going to be Lycan. Purification is good for now, but Atonement swinging away. He's surrounded and finally shut down by Watson.
Lycan, big part of that kill, able to just sit there and wait. A lot of the Berserker's barrage damage going into the Chronos, and now 52.5. The Fire Giant is started up. Gnome far away. Fire Giant down to 50%. Gnome still far away. Fire Giant slowed down as far as the damage is concerned, with players taking a look towards the big baby, trying to get him out of here. But Gnome chasing the back line, looking for the damage dealers.
He's just wasting time at this point, right? Fire Giant's reset 60%, so it healed up about 20%. But the rest of Team Rival, they're going to be able to rotate in as even if the Fire Giant is secured, they've taken so much damage, it's going to be a dangerous fight for them.
Zenborne still out of combat, gets the blink in, there's Cataclysm. There's the damage, and Barrage able to secure the Fire Giant, but will they lose members is a different story. Watson very low, Awe very low, but so is Zenborne. Jeron is online, and he's dealing the damage. Lycan able to stun out Headhunter, not once, but twice, and then finds the kill for himself. That's going to be 8 for the Thor jungle.
This is game. It has to be game. How does Rival hold this? They've got 2 members alive. There's under Fountain, right? This is at the very least all 3 Phoenixes. It's going to be the first one. Awe. A little bit low, but he's going to be able to heal up. Still tanking. A little bit surprising here. Gnome caught off by himself. All still tanking Phoenix, taking a lot of damage.
I was going to lead the charge over here. It would be smart to have Watson tank, and that's exactly what Barrage is going to do. Love the change on tanking of the Phoenix. Pull all the way on the other side. It's going to catch one of the members of Barrage, but it won't result in a death. Watson tanks the Phoenix to its conclusion, but Watson going to take not a spill, jumps up and down, and then Atonement able to find the kill. Thought it was going to come by way of Feather Step, but instead of basic out of Chronos, sends the support back to the base.
Barrage resetting. You can see them on full retreat, but they've left Elexum alone, and there's no way he can protect himself against this Chronos. I mean, the Chronos simply is just faster than him, but actually gives up, and charging Neith ult. Hydra's come in as well, and now they're looking for him. One more hit. Oh, the gumballs, they can't connect. Lycan, though. Beautiful wall. Hits the double tap, and Hydra's going to fall for the 6th time in this match.
It's a team retreat coming out from Barrage. They pick up all 3 Phoenixes here against a team rival, their opposition. Close to an hour, folks, just 6 minutes shy. And this one has been, like I said earlier, I would call it back and forth, but it's just been all in, all in, all in, all in. It's resulted in pretty much a tie for the past couple of minutes, but Barrage was able to swing up and wind up with a giant lead if you take a look at map presence.
Speaking of swinging, you can see Headhunter topping the damage charts, 9, 6, and 5. Also has a Soul Reaver now.
Ooh.
Did not have that, I think, in the last engagement. He sold. I'm not exactly sure what item he sold, but he sold it. Chronos spin it, maybe?
Yes, I think so. I think so. It was a Soul Reaver for a couple engagements now, but it hasn't been there for the entirety of the game, if I'm not mistaken. The Spear of Desolation, definitely more of the item that I'm looking at for the Soul, to be honest with you.
760 magical power. Although ticking down a little bit here. And Headhunter actually going to find a big ult, but just off the mark, not going to find anyone. Looking for Lycan now. Gnome finishes him off. Watson to the back line. Zenborne finds the stun, just trying to peel for his soul. And Headhunter resetting himself.
What an important disarm coming out from Watson there, stopping the damage coming out from the basic attacks. And Zenborne now in some trouble. Atonement in more trouble. Uses Purification to stop the stun. Hydra, on the other hand, brings the enemies towards him. Might not have been a good play. He gets whooped. And, well, he got duped. Jeron tricks Hydra into eating all of the gumballs
2 for
to
1.
his death.
Shell popped. Fire minions. They're here. This could be time. Barrage might be able to find themselves the first win they've ever had. And the qualifiers outside of the early week 1, and it is the Titan gonna fall. Barrage coming up 2-1 in the final week. Somehow, and a back and forth. They were down pretty heavy early on, but managed to hold out.
Long, well-fought, heavy-duty, crazy team fighting, damage-filled, execution-based barn burner. Let's take a look at the bracket. 6 weeks, and this one is just a single one of them. Barrage wind up 2 games over their opposition team rival.
Atlas making their way into the top 4. A lot of times you see cleanup crew kind of in that position as well, so we'll see how everything swings out here in the next couple weeks. But I mean, just such a really good set, honestly.
Just fun to watch.
Both times, at least the first 2 games, it was Barrage with the lead. Game 1, they throw, although it was a pretty close game.
Right.
And then game 2, the big win by Rival.
Yeah, this one, it was a long one, but we all start at the same point, minute 1. But the games start at different points. First blood is a tumultuous task, and this time around it came in 6 minutes in. Missed abilities, but you can't miss the Feather Step. Hydra secures the kill on Watson.
And we saw that in game 1 as well. A little bit of attention to that soul lane, and funny enough, Gnome actually should have died twice
Yes.
there. It was Barrage trying to gank him, but a couple players missed their abilities early on, and that was Barrage. They really weren't connecting too well early on. Obviously, they got things rolling heading into like the 20th and 30th minute.
Yeah, whether it was his ability to dance or otherwise, Gnome has really really impacted this game. On the Vamana mainly, we saw it not just once but twice during this set. And like you said, he was able to dodge in and out and avoid some of those hits and then deliver some hits of his own. This Vamana just chasing down. What a good highlight, bud. Maybe we have a different
number one. It was just kind of his positioning. He got a lot of damage off in these fights, even without a single damage item in his build, right? You could consider Fatalis a damage item, but it's not like a Transcendence or you know, a Frostbound Hammer. I think he had that, so maybe Frostbound's kind of hybrid anyway. But
it's in between.
Really good job from him on getting out a lot of team fight damage, controlling players, and then kind of at the end of engagements chasing them down in Big Baby.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun to watch that one. Solo laner et al. Enjoyed it. Barrage wind up on top, which is fun. So we'll take a look at how that one goes. As far as the standings are concerned, I think that Rival still numero uno. Still numero uno. But as we said, this is all about trying to find a way into the league. So those points will matter a little bit later on. What was your key of this set, Kevin?
I would say probably the solo laner still. I think Gnome kind of coming into his own. Watson, obviously game one, I think he kind of ran rampant, but after that, it was pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. That's going to do it for us here at hi-rez Studios today. Just a reminder, right now there is a 24-hour stream that started at noon today. It's going to go all the way till noon tomorrow, I think. And it's being run by the Friends of Allied. Allied, a beloved community member and honestly a member of our personal team. He recently joined the casting squad and had to take a leave of absence because he's very, very ill. And a lot of people on his side are helping bridge the gap between his sort of bank account and what he needs to help him out. Right now, Hinderman is actually over there dyeing his hair pink.
Okay.
And that's not going to be it. You've got Cajun Agent, you've got Kiki, the support over there for Envy, Pon's over there, Gandhi's over there, Pon's over there. If you remember Pretty Hair, he's there as well. Kevin, what are you doing after this?
I'm going over there too.
We are going over there. We're going to go hang out. We're actually going to host it right here. This is on a serious note, guys. This is one of the causes that's very near and dear to my heart. Allied is a very nice guy, and if you ask across the Smite community about stories about getting into Smite, staying in Smite, or just someone important in their Smite career, Allied comes up not just once, but many, many times. Let's help Allied together and come and see what we can do for the man. That's twitch.tv/KikiBobiki, and we will be hosting it here as well on hi-rez TV. I hope to see every single one of you in the chat. Allied is the true hi-rez TV chat memer in all of us. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and I hope to see you later on this evening and, of course, into the wee hours of the morning over there. For everyone here at SPL, including Peckies, we love you, and we'll see you later.